Alright, y'all. I'm gonna vent to you real quick. Um, I'm a Sacramento Kings fan. We exist, yeah. I'm a real one. You know what? I got some memorabilia here. Cool little gold hat, right? I got it's a Jason Williams jersey right here, white chocolate jersey, kind of nice. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty decent. I got a De'Aaron Fox jersey right here. I don't know if you could see that. This is from the 2022 season, I believe. This was a Christmas gift from one of my good friends, and yeah, I've got other Kings memorabilia. I'm a big Kings fan. Have been ever since I started watching basketball. Right? I've loved the Sacramento Kings, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. We need to get disbanded. We need to sell the team. We should probably move our franchise out of Sacramento and give the Seattle Supersonics a chance, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And I know a lot of other Kings fans are gonna be calling me a heretic and saying that that's borderline treason for saying that, because if you're once you're a fan of a sports franchise, you die on that hill, right? You defend that team more than you defend your own life at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if y'all know anything about the Sacramento Kings, but we could be the worst sports franchise. Like of all of them. Think of a sports franchise that's so bad, like terrible. Like you think of that team, and if you were a fan of that team, you might shed a tear nightly type of vibe. That team is what the Kings wish they could be. Okay? Because when you think of a bad sports franchise, like a terrible one, like if you watch like the NFL, terrible, horrible sports franchise might be like the Jets. Real bad, right? Real bad. Within the last 20 years, they have had at least one season, where they have pushed in a deep playoff run or could have been considered in contention or had a player on their team that was considered one of the best in the league. They had at least one season of hope. Now, if you're from the capital of Sacramento, or you're from the capital of California, right? You're from Sacramento. You might realize that we're lacking in some of those qualities, if you understand what I'm saying. The best basketball player we've had in the last 2 decades was was Boogie. It was that big center guy, Mr. Cousins, and let's be honest, he was damn good. Like, damn good. You watch some of those old DeMarcus Cousins highlights, bro. He was just about as unguardable you can get when you're coming to a center. And especially when you consider the fact that we gave him no fucking help. Like, who do you have? Bino Udrich? Like, this guy had no assistance, and he still cooked every center that guarded him in the league, and we didn't give him a chance to play in the playoffs. One of the most starlight, densely ridden centers that we have seen since the turn of the millennia, and he didn't play a minute of playoff basketball until he left our team. And I mean, judging beyond that, like, obviously I'm a young Kings fan. Okay, I'm only 22 years old, and I've only been watching basketball for like maybe like 15 years, right? But even as a young fan, I could speak to some of the OG Kings fans, if there's any left, that in the entire encompassment of my life in 22 years, I have been able to consciously witness one playoff series with the Sacramento Kings. In my entire life, 15 years of watching basketball, and you know, the Kings franchise being around since God knows when, maybe like the 40s, right? I have only witnessed one playoff series with the Sacramento Kings, and we have only won one championship in the history of our franchise, being 1950 with the Rochester Royals. Shout out Big O. So the history doesn't exist, but neither does the future, because as a Kings fan, right? We now consider basketball to be a regular season sport. Well, more like in the summer we pick a different sport to watch because we expect that there's no going to be no entertainment for us as Sacramento Kings fans when summer comes, and this is now the norm for me now. I don't know. As the viewer, you probably clicked on this video to either laugh at the fact I'm a Kings fan or you're just kind of into basketball maybe a little bit. But yeah, I started liking soccer because the Kings are so terrible at sports. The Kings are a regular season franchise, and that makes Kings fans regular season fans. Um, so once the regular season is over and the Kings obviously don't make the playoffs, uh, I started watching soccer in the summer because the World Cup was going on, which is kind of sick, and they got like there's cool stuff like the Club World Cup going on and the Euros and all that. Lots of cool stuff going on in the summer for soccer. So I started watching soccer, and genuinely, I would have not gotten into soccer if it wasn't for the fact that the Sacramento Kings are completely incapable of constructing a playoff roster. Um, I mean, they did it one time that I can consciously remember, and we got bounced out in the first round by Steph. I think he had a 50 piece in Game 7. So you know what? Honestly, maybe a win. I like soccer, and soccer's a cool sport, or football for you culturally inclined individuals. Soccer's sick. Football, great. Big fan of it. Messi's the goat. Actually, Pele. Anyways, I can't think about the Sacramento Kings franchise and not just feel shame as like a Kings fan, because the worst thing is right now our record in the NBA, real quick. Let me check. Keep in mind that the Kings, our goal for this year was to be competitive. Our mindset walking into this season, right, is that we wanted to be in playoff contention. We wanted to see what we could do in a playoff series again. That was the mindset we had walking into this season. Now, currently, the Kings are the 14th seed in the West. We are 6 games. We have won, and we have lost 20. So, with the mindset of being a competitive team, we're 14 games under 500 and not even close to halfway in the season. Go Kings. So yeah, that's not really good. With the entirety of our off season being mentally prepared to be competitive this season, we have not set ourselves up very well for the future. And quite literally, 8 games into the season, the Kings franchise decided that a rebuild would probably be best. It only took 8 games for us to realize, oh, we're trash. Yo, we're awful. Ooh, we need to sell everybody. And, even the Kings players, I feel especially bad for because the worst thing is they're really good. Like, they're really good. But they have no assistance on constructing a helpful defensive scheme. Literally anytime, the Kings play a center who is either over 7 feet tall or good, they have the best games of their career against us. So far, personally, I just watching Kings games this year, in the 26 games we've played, I have personally seen 8, maybe 8, like six players from other teams hit either career or season highs on us. 6, just from watching Kings games. Uh, like, like I remember I watched when we played the Thunder. Isaiah Hardenstein had like 30 and 20. Zubac like murdered us. And I mean, obviously, this might be considering the fact that Sabonis has been out or really inconsistent this season, which has been pretty rare. But mainly, even when Sabonis is in, even when our team is fully stocked up and we have a completely filled out roster, we get beat up in the paint. We let people drive past us very easily, extremely easily. And once they get in the paint, all of the teams we're playing immediately understand that they consider us a free win. So the closer they get to the basket, the more confidence they have in making that shot, which means they make the shot. Teams are shooting like 60% against us this year. We wanted to be competitive, and right now in the power rankings, I think we're bottom 5. Yeah, we're awful. And we need to sell this team. And I'm gonna be so honest and completely fair. I think if the Kings sell the team and we begin to attempt to rebuild, and we once again fail this rebuild, even if we fire all of the incompetent, thoughtless management we have and get new people, even if we set up a perfect coaching staff and morale for the team is up. All of that has happened before, and we've still won 30 games or less. So even if the rebuild starts to look in a good direction, if it still doesn't work, I think we need to disband the franchise and give Seattle their team back. I think the OKC can be OKC. I mean, obviously they're the best team possibly in NBA history right now. Um, I think the Kings have been the worst sports franchise in the history of sports, and I think Seattle would be ecstatic to get a basketball team back. And this is all coming from a guy who absolutely loves the Sacramento Kings. I mean, I've got 2 poster boards up there. My sister handcrafted for me for Kings memorabilia. I've got jerseys. I've got Sacramento Kings shorts. I have gear, trading cards. I mean, limited edition hats. I don't even remember where I got this. Still has a fucking sticker on it. All right. I have all of this stuff. I love this team, but it hurts me more to watch them than it lets me enjoy them. I've been watching this team play basketball for 15 years, and even if the tickets were free, I wouldn't go. I'm pretty sure we were playing at home during this game, but the Kings lost by 40 this season to a Memphis Grizzlies team that did not have Ja Morant and did not have Jaren Jackson Jr. And that team is currently 11 and 14. They're under 500. A team that is under 500 and missing their 2 star players, we lose by over 42. And we wanted to be competitive. This is the level that the Kings franchise is at. We're downright completely incompetent as a team. We are allergic to hiring good management. We are allergic to winning, which is super fun as a fan. So, yeah, it's a lot of sports teams right now might feel like hopeless, and their franchise and their fan base might feel like they're lost and they don't know what to do. If you're a Kings fan, you can come along with me on this one. We are in the consistent 5th stage of grief, just acceptance. When you consider the facts, the Kings don't win because people don't want to come play for the Kings to get them to win. We have probably the lowest supportive fan base in the league. I mean, if we're not 30th, we're probably like highest 25th. Um, People don't want to sign with us in free agency because we're a no-name franchise, and all of the other teams in California are like the Los Angeles Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, even the Los Angeles Clippers. These teams have a massive fan base. But you want to go to Sacramento? Yeah, I don't think so. I think you'd probably pick the bright lights and the LA Lakers or the Warriors or something like that. And next to not being able to get any recognition or anyone who wants to come play for our team, if you follow along the lines, we can't draft anybody. We are thoughtless. mindless ogres on the draft clock. Once those 2 minutes hit, we immediately pick the least productive and potential ridden player we can find and give up our best picks for him. Marvin Bagley over Luca? What? Ben McLemore. Bruh. And even when we pick players that are like lit, crazy, bro. We finally got a diamond in the rough player, bro. This is the future. Let's trade him to the Pacers for Domantas Sabonis. Genius. God, I couldn't have cooked it up better. And even after that, right? After we get Domantas Sabonis, let's take the player we also drafted somehow that was really good. Lottery pick. Top 5 pick. Great guy. Legendary player for the Kings. Over 8 seasons for us. Still very young. Still very productive. Averages about 25 points per game. The fastest player in the league. Let's trade him to the Spurs. And then, after that, let's rebuild a Chicago Bulls team that not only is older than they were when they already couldn't make the playoffs, but build them worse. And say that we're going to be competitive. I don't want any more of this, man. I'd rather watch Seattle Supersonics basketball and just not be a team, like a fan of a team. I mean, I'm kind of I kind of like I'm like mini fans of other teams, so I could like kind of passively support them, and that would be genuinely a lot more fun than forcing myself to tune in to another 38-point loss to like the New Orleans Pelicans or something like that, man. This is the level that the sports franchise the Kings are at, man. I want to keep all this cool little memorabilia we got here. All this stuff is great, but I'm so tired of supporting this team. There isn't hope, and there hasn't been since 2002. I wasn't even born yet. So yeah, that's all I got, man. I just felt like I have no one else to talk to that is even like knowledgeable about the Sacramento Kings or even likes basketball. So I'm assuming no one's gonna be really watching this video, or if they do, they're just gonna be pointing and laughing at me and saying, "Stupid little Kings fan. Look at Tyrese Halliburton." Anyways, that's it. See ya.